Sony and a host of others have withdrawn from this Mobile World Congress. And by the way, that's in Barcelona, Spain. It's not in Asia. But a number of companies from Apple to Amazon to LG Electronics to NTT have all opted not to go to that conference. Again, far from the region affected, but not taking any chances. The read on all of this from Professor Dave Dodson here, who joins us from Stanford School of Business. Of course, it's a little better weather conditions there than here in New Hampshire, but he was nice enough to say, what the heck, I'll try the cold weather and see what it's like. Professor, good to see you.
As always.
All right. First of all, the effects of this whole coronavirus. You know, we talk about in terms of deaths and all, at almost 1,000. It scares people. It's now officially more than SARS, but in the scheme of things, you always hear the comparison. More people die of the common flu by a factor of 10 times that. But it's a worry. It's a drag. It's psychological, too. What's the fallout?
Neil, I think it's way more than psychological. The reason why the next 10 days are going to be so critical is 400 million Chinese have been crisscrossing the country during the Lunar New Year's. And some of those are carrying a virus that has an incubation period of somewhere between 3 and 10 days. So the next couple weeks are going to be really critical. The second thing is they're all returning to work. They're returning to work where they're all together in a workplace. So we don't have any idea what's going to happen to this virus. And you think about the scope of it. So the city that it started in is the size of New York and LA combined. Okay, and now imagine, now they've quarantined the entire province, okay? That would be the equivalent in the United States of Donald Trump saying, we're going to quarantine Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Ohio and see what happens.
And they're still quarantined.
That's right. So you've got 400 million Chinese crisscrossing the country. If that doesn't break out anywhere else, these supply chains are more resilient than people give credit for. And ironically, because of the whole trade negotiations, they're less fragile because companies have put in different provisions. Imagine, though, if this same outbreak happens in 2 or 3 other provinces, then you're talking about devastation.
Now, on the economic side, Professor, what people have said is this is not an excuse for China. It really will be hard-pressed to buy as many goods as they've committed to in this trade agreement, because now even outside China, forecasters are saying growth, which we take at the Chinese word as 6%, will be reduced to barely positive, maybe under 1%. Do you buy that?
It would take a lot for it to drop down to 1%. I mean, probably if things don't go well, it's sort of in the 4 to 5% range. But people focus on the numbers of how many people died, and I understand why they do that. But in terms of the economic impact, just think about how many people can't go to work. And that could be devastating as well. And we think about China.
But I never thought of what you said, though. Now, those who do go back to work, it could be compounding.
That's right. So if that's compounding the problem, people are not going to be allowed to go back to work. So the factories are shut down. Even if not a lot of lives are lost, the economic devastation can be large.
Professor, thank you very, very much.